You turn the handle and nothing comes out. Not a trickle, not a cough of air in the pipe. Just silence, and the faucet staring back at you in a kitchen that is already too warm. It is the hottest week of the year, the kind of heat that presses against the windows, and the one thing you assumed would always be there has just stopped. No warning, no notice taped to your door. The water is gone, and the clock you do not see yet has already started counting down 72 hours. In the first hour, most people feel nothing but mild annoyance. They flip the handle a second time, as if the pipe simply needs convincing. They check another faucet. They text a neighbor. And then comes the first real moment that separates the prepared from everyone else: the toilet. You use it once, you flush, and the tank does not refill. Now you understand. Across your street, in the first 60 minutes, 100 toilet tanks empty and do not come back. That is your first clue. This is real. While your neighbors are still confused, you are already moving. You fill every container you can from whatever still holds pressure in the lines. You close the valve thoughts in your head, and you mentally count the water you stored months ago. The hoarding instinct is firing in other homes right now. People grabbing car keys, heading to the store on adrenaline. You are not in that car. You already have what they are about to fight over. By hour 6 to 12, the stores are stripped. Bottled water is the first shelf to go bare. Then sports drinks, then juice, then anything wet, even pickles and canned soup for the liquid inside. The lines at the registers turn ugly. Someone is already arguing over the last case of water in aisle 4. Meanwhile, back in those homes, hygiene is quietly collapsing. Toilets that cannot flush get used anyway because people have nowhere else to go. The smell starts. Hands go unwashed. Dishes pile in dry sinks. This is the part nobody pictures when they imagine a water outage. They picture thirst. They do not picture the bathroom becoming a biohazard by the end of the first evening. You picture it because you planned for it. You have heavy trash bags, a bucket, and a way to keep waste sealed, and set up your sanitation plan before the smell ever started. While their bathrooms become unusable, yours stays under control. Day 1 bleeds into day 2, and the heat wave, your body loses water whether you drink or not. You sweat sitting still. Without air conditioning, because power often follows water down in a real crisis, indoor temperatures climb into the danger zone. This is where dehydration stops being a word and becomes a feeling. The headache that will not quit, the dry mouth, the dizziness when you stand. Children and older people slip first. People start rationing wrong, either drinking too little out of fear and quietly cooking themselves from the inside, or guzzling what little they have and running dry by nightfall. You do neither. You know that in this heat a person needs roughly a gallon a day just to stay level, more if they are working or sweating, and you measured your supply against that number long before today. You drink on a schedule, small and steady, in the shade, with the windows managed and the hottest hours spent as still as possible. Ration discipline is not about drinking less. It is about drinking smart and knowing exactly how many days your stored water buys you. And then there is the other danger of day 2, the silent one, disease, with no water to wash hands, no water to clean surfaces, and human waste accumulating. The conditions for sickness are perfect. This is how outbreaks have killed more people in disasters than thirst ever did. One stomach bug in a house with no clean water and no working toilet, in 90-degree heat, spreads fast and drains a body faster. You break that chain on purpose. You have stored water set aside strictly for hand washing and cleaning, separate from your drinking supply. You have a real way to purify questionable water. Not a vague plan, but the actual gear. A quality filter, purification tablets, and the knowledge that a rolling boil for 1 full minute kills what is trying to kill you. While their house becomes a place that breeds illness, yours stays a place that prevents it. By day 3, the mood on the street has changed completely. The annoyance of hour 1 has curdled into desperation. The stores are empty and staying empty. People who had nothing stored are now 70 hours into a heat wave with no clean water. And the human body simply cannot wait much longer. This is when they go to the unsafe sources, the decorative pond. The neighbor's pool, thick with chemicals, or going green. The creek behind the houses that everyone forgot runs downstream of something worse. They drink it because they have run out of choices, and a day or two later, the real sickness arrives on top of the dehydration. Desperation makes people take risks they would never take on a normal afternoon. This is the moment your preparation pays its full price, because you are not desperate. You are not standing over a pond wondering how bad it really is. You are at home rationing what you stored, purifying what you find through equipment you trust, and watching the 72-hour mark pass while still in control of your own body and your own decisions. That is the brutal truth of the first 3 days without water. It is not one big dramatic collapse. It is a quiet ladder of failures. The toilet, the smell, the heat, the sickness, the desperation, each one stepping down into the next. Almost none of it is about thirst alone, and almost all of it is survivable if you decided to be ready before the handle ever went dry. Stored water? A real way to purify. A sanitation plan. The discipline to ration smart in the heat. That is the whole difference between the people in the cars and the person calmly waiting it out. So ask yourself the honest question. Right now, while the water is still running, if your taps went silent this afternoon in the worst heat of the year, which person on that street would you be? Get your water stored. Get your plan made. If this kept you thinking, subscribe and stay ready, because the time to fix this is always before the clock starts.